Ladies and gentlemen, we gathered here today to begin our ceremony with the auspicious lighting of the ceremonial lamp, seeking the blessings of the divine, symbolizing the dispelling of darkness, the pursuit of knowledge and positivity. With great reverence and respect, I now request our esteemed dignitaries to light the ceremonial lamp and mark the beginning of the event. Thank you, sir. Without further ado, I would like to take a moment to offer felicitations to our distinguished dignitaries and delegates. First of all, I would like to request the Chairman of the Local Organizing Committee, Dr. Dignitaries, sir, to felicitate our esteemed Chief Guest, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Assam Agricultural University, Jorhat, Dr. Felicitation, sir. Dr. Puri sir is felicitated with a Pulam Gamusa, a bouquet, and a gift hamper. May I now request Dr. Saidu Rahman sir to felicitate our Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, Dr. Felicitation, sir. Sir is being felicitated with a Pulam Gamusa, a bouquet, and a gift hamper. May I now request our Organizing Secretary, Dr. Sachin S. Suroshi sir, to felicitate our respected Dean in charge, Faculty of Agriculture, Dr. Bhoganan Murali sir, with a Pulam Gamusa, a bouquet, and a tea gift hamper. May I now request our Joint Organizing Secretary, Dr. Sudhanshu Bhagavati sir, to felicitate our Organizing Secretary, Dr. Sachin S. Suroshi sir, with a Pulam Gamusa, a bouquet, and a tea gift hamper. Thank you, sir. May I now request our Organizing Secretary, Dr. Sachin S. Suroshi, sir, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, respected Dr. Chandra, Chief Guest of this inauguration function of ESI 2025. Dr. S.N. Puri, sir, Guest of Honor, Chief Patron ESI, Dr. Bhagwan Bharali, in charge the College of Agriculture, Harvard University, my friend, my colleague, Dr. Bala Bhattacharya, and Organizing Secretary of ESI 2025. Our President, who has joined online, Dr. V. Ramamurthy, Dr. P.K. Chakravarti, ex-member ESRB, Madam Chakravarti, Dr. Vaji Bhatta, sir, Director CICR, Dr. P.K. Sharma, ex-Director NISA, Dr. Akali Sema, ex-Pro-Vice Chancellor SAS, Nagaland University, Dr. T.K. Singh, Dr. Sharad Babu, representing Corporation Association of India, ex-HODs of Assam Agriculture University, my colleague Dr. Subramanian, Dr. Shashank, Dr. Suresh, Dr. Rajna, my friend Dr. Kanchan Saikia, and all dear delegate students, members of press and media, members from industry. I welcome you all in this inauguration function of ESI 2025. So it is a proud moment to be here in Assam. This is my maiden visit to Assam. Actually, I have joined as a scientist in ISA Research Congress Badapani, Shillong in 2003. So my neighbor, my friend Dr. Kanchan Saikia, I came to know about Assam culture from him. So whenever he dialed me, he called me Jai Maharashtra, and I call him Jai Assam. So that is how we greet each one of us. And with respect to the history of ESI 2025, actually, the last year we had ESI 2024 in GKVT, Bangalore. Before that, 1 year back, myself, Dr. Shashank, we had a meeting. We went to the international training in USA. When he came back, he has seen that there will be the student conclave, wherein delegates will be only students. So we thought, why not we should have it as a part of ESI activity. In that time, our President, Dr. Puri sir, he supported us, and the present President, Dr. V. Ramamurthy, is also supporting us. Then we had it, and you must be knowing that was the first student conclave organized for the student in India. And we got a lot of accolades from the ICR and the DJ that time, Himanju Pathak sir also was very happy with our initiative. And many of the societies now they are thinking to have such ESC student conclave for the respective subjects. And on this occasion, I welcome each one of you for this ESC 2025. And we look forward to impactful deliberations and very good recommendations coming out of this student conclave. So, good morning once again, and I welcome you all for this ESI 2025. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. I now invite the President of the Entomological Society of India, New Delhi, and Chairman of the Entomology Students' Conclave 2025, Dr. V.V. Ramamurthy, sir, who has connected us virtually to deliver his address.
Good morning, and thank you, Dr. Hemantri. First of all, my apologies for not being present there it happened due to an unavoidable personal occupation here. In fact, I am really very sorry. My apologies for not being present there personally. Respected Dr. S.N. Puri, who has been always the man behind the Entomological Society of India. In fact, whatever the society has achieved in the last 30 years is solely team agriculture represented by Dr. Bhagwan, Dr. Sachin Suresh, Secretary, ESI, Dr. Bhadan Bhattacharya, Organizing Secretary, other members of the organizing committee, and especially those who have been behind this program for the last 1 year or more, Dr. Sudhanshu, Dr. Simindri, and Dr. Saidu Rahman, who have been taking part of this program, and other dignitaries from ICR, especially Dr. Vijay Prasad, Dr. K.K. Sharma, other faculties and director team, and the officials from the Assam University, and also from Nagaland University, Dr. T.V.K. Singh, Dr. Sar Babu, faculty, students, all other executives from the Advanced University of India, members of the organizing committees. In fact, I am very proud of them. The book of abstract has been brought out by I must specify here, the book of abstract has been brought out on the occasion. If any of you will see that it is of global standards, it is a thing which has never been done. And the credit for the whole thing goes to the students. In fact, we have made students part of the organizing committee and each and every nut and bolt of this particular event. And you may find large number of volunteers and large number of people in the committee. All of them have contributed. And I heard that yesterday the expo was an excellent effort. I am really very proud, and I feel that I am really missing this event. So I will not be present there. And the Informal Student Conclave was emanated from the idea that the philosophy that we have to catch some young of the entomology fraternity. This has never been done by any of the programs related to the world, because those who are young and we catch them young when they are students, and that will ensure the growth of the professional society and the growth of the science in the entire spectrum. So, only with this idea we started with the Entomology Student Conclave. I must say that it is not only the first kind of event, it is an event that is being continued for future. So, we conducted it in 2024, we are holding it now without any fail in 2025. We are learning from the previous event, and then we are making it technically sound as it has been earlier. So I understand that there is a lot of response for the students' conclave, especially the contribution of students. Many times, we are getting discouraged by people who are sponsoring. There is only a student here. They are not supporting them, but actually students are the backbone. They are the teachers in entomology, in any science you take. So that way the academic strength, when they are students, if they are catching them, it is going to be really useful for the development of the particular growth and development of science. So that way I feel that the SC25 is one which is giving us an opportunity for the growth and development of science, and establish science as establish entomology as one of the future sciences. So I understand that there is overwhelming response. There are more than 200 to 250 abstracts. There are about 280 abstracts to be very precise. And one important part which I could see here is many of them were interested to come physically, especially the people coming to Northeast India is always, Dr. S.N. Puri had been there for more than a decade in Northeast. The only problem we used to see is people don't reach Northeast, but this time we found that there is an overwhelming response for visiting the Northeastern part of the country. So that's why the Entomology Society of India is really very proud. And if you see the things which are learned from the last concept that led in Bangalore and the one which is being held now, we find that there is a lot of improvement, especially in the content, technical content. So once the book of contents is going to be, book of abstracts is going to be released today, if you see each and every page, you can see that there is a lot of what you call intellectual things which are gone into it. And then we see the entire spectrum of research which is being done by the students who are the practitioners of etymology. I feel that conducting such kind of events for the students and bringing out the work done by the students is going to be one of the very important landmarks for the development of science. That way, I feel that ESC 2025 is going to be one such thing. I am very much sure that with the feedback we are already getting, the Assam University, led by Gil Dekha and supported by Saidul Rahman and Madhu Prasad and all others who are part of the organization committee, taking strain in ensuring that there is refinement and perfection in each and every aspect. I am very much sure that ESC 25 will be much more successful than what we had in ESC in Bangalore. I wish the event all the success, and I am really feeling that I am really missing this event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for briefing the audience about the ESC 2025. Moving forward to our book release, ladies and gentlemen, I am beyond excited to share the culmination of months of hard work of the ESC 2025 team, Local Souvenir Committee of the Department of Entomology and the Entomology Club AU Jorhat in bringing out 3 publications, namely Book of Abstracts, the souvenir named Winged Whisperers, and the upcoming issue of the Indian Entomologist magazine. I now respectfully request our esteemed dignitaries to officially release the Book of Abstracts. This important document contains the research abstracts submitted by our participants, showcasing their valuable contributions to the field. May I request our editors, Ms. Tulsi B., Mr. Amit Pachapur, Dr. P.R. Shashank sir, Dr. Sahidur Rahman sir, and Dr. Sudhanshu Bhagavati sir to please be on stage. Thank you, sir. May I now request our esteemed dignitaries to officially release the souvenir Winged Whisperers, published on the occasion of ESC 2025 from the Entomology Club, Department of Entomology, AU Jorhat. I again request our esteemed dignitaries to virtually release the upcoming issue of the Indian Entomologist magazine, a magazine of the Entomological Society of India. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to move forward, I would like to take a moment to celebrate the incredible contributions of remarkable individuals for their exceptional leadership and services. We would like to recognize and honor the superannuated former entomologists whose leadership and dedication have played instrumental role in shaping the growth and success of the department. It is with great appreciation that we present this token of our gratitude to our former entomologists for their exceptional leadership, dedicated service and commitment to the department as well as to the university. May I now request our respected former Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, AU Jorhat, and toxicologist, Dr. Dipendranath Dr. Sir, to kindly accept the felicitation from Dr. Kumar Bora Sir. May I now request our respected former head and economic entomologist, Dr. Isha Hawk Sir, to kindly accept the felicitation from Dr. Ratul Kumar Bora Sir. Moving on, may I now request Dr. Munindranath Bhattakur Sir, former professor and head of the department, to accept our felicitation from Dr. Ratul Kumar Bora Sir. Next, we would like to honor our former professor and head, Dr. Satyendra Kumar Dutta Sir, to kindly accept the felicitation from Dr. Ratul Kumar Bora Sir. May I now request our former Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, AU Jorhat, and renowned insect physiologist, Dr. Lakshmikanta Hazarika Sir, to kindly accept the felicitation from Dr. Sahidur Rahman Sir. I would now like to request our former entomologist and toxicologist, Dr. Motra Mohan Goswami Sir, to kindly accept the felicitation from Dr. Sahidur Rahman Sir. Moving on, may I now request our former professor and head and renowned apiculturist, Dr. Atul Rahman Sir, to kindly accept the felicitation from Dr. Sahidur Rahman Sir. Now I request our former rice entomologist, Dr. Sabiqul Hussain, to kindly accept the felicitation from Dr. Mukul Kumar Dekar Sir. May I now request our respected former Director of Students Welfare, AU Jorhat, and insect ecologist, Dr. Deepak Kumar Bora Sir, to kindly accept the felicitation from Dr. Mukul Kumar Das Dekar Sir. Request our former professor and head, Dr. Dilip Kumar Saitya Sir, to kindly accept the felicitation from Dr. Mukul Kumar Dekar Sir. Thank you very much, sir. May I now have the honor to request our esteemed guest of honor, former Vice Chancellor of Central Agricultural University, Imphal, Dr. S.N. Khilli Sir, to kindly bless us with his kind words.
The Honorable Vice Chancellor of this esteemed university and President of this morning session, Dr. P.C. Dr. Chandra Dekar sir, our esteemed President of the Society, who could not be personally present, Dr. Ramamurthy, the organizing secretary of this event, Dr. Bhadat Chakravarti, Dr. Bhagwan Marali, the in-charge dean of the faculty, our colleague from the Society, Dr. Sachin Solution. I find Dr. Chakraborty, former member ASRD and Assistant Director General ICR, Plantation Dr. Chakraborty. My friend Dr. Y. Prasad, Director, Central Institute for Cotton Research. A very senior colleague from this university, Dr. K. Hazarika. The former Dean of College of Horticulture of Central Agricultural University, the first former Dean, Dr. Datta. Dr. T.V.K. Singh, Dr. Sharad Babuji, the President of the Land Protection Association of India, Dr. Sharma, the former Director of National Institute of Secondary Agriculture, Ranchi, many stalwarts who have worked for the development of entomology, not only in this region but in the country, who are present here. And above all, the student delegates who have come personally to make presentation of their research findings based on their MSc and PhD dissertations. Invitees, members of the faculty of this Assam Agricultural University, members of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a pleasure to be here this morning to attend this second students' conclave. There are many scientific societies in the country who are organizing different programs for the fellow scientists in their particular disciplines. Entomological Society of India has taken a separate decision that in addition to providing platform to the scientists who are working in entomology, we should devote time to mentor the younger generation. The need of the day is going to be the lack of leadership in the subject matters, even in administration or science. And therefore thought came to us, why not to provide independent platform to the students only, because when we organize conferences, many seniors are there, and among them, this session which is devoted for the students' presentation loses its significance. They get very limited time. And therefore, it was decided to organize the students' conclave exclusively for the students. Probably this is the only effort we find in agricultural sciences where we are supporting students to use separate platform independently. But at the same time, this year new thought came to us that when students are coming, they are making their presentations, but there should be somebody to guide them. And therefore, few plenary lectures are also arranged this year. Maybe next time we may have to think twice how to make it more effective. When I entered in this hall yesterday night, I found the picture of Bhupendra Hazarika just on the side. I was in CE with the Vice Chancellor when he died in Mumbai. But it reminds me how the contribution of an individual without anything makes him great man in this way. Dr. Bhupendra skills, intelligence, music, everything with him. But until he touched the shores of Arabian Sea, he shifted to Mumbai. His talent was not known to everybody. He became known when he entered in the Bombay Bollywood, what we can call it. And his death was an exceptional. Younger generation, I am specially making mention of this issue. Without having any position at that time, he was not a member of parliament, he was not a minister, he was not a MLA or MLC. And his cremation took almost 27 hours. Right from the news of his death spread, people started pouring in Guwahati for his last darshan. His body was brought nearly at 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning, and they were to take it at 11 o'clock. The body was kept for last darshan, and people could not finish their queue till evening. So this is the contribution of one's which makes people to realize. And therefore, the younger generation who is sitting here should take a note, should learn a lesson from Bhupendra, that if you have something in you, and if you go on doing it without bothering for the external forces, people do recognize your efforts one day or two. Yesterday while coming in travel, I was just browsing some articles, and I came across one article. It was published in Current Science some 3-4 years back, and it pertains to Dr. Y. Ramchandra. He started his career in the British days, and he was one of the founding members in 1938 to establish or to start Entomological Society of India. I request all the young entomologists who are sitting here to go through that article. It will tell you that without hard work, there is nothing which can give you credit. There were not many laboratories, there were not many facilities, and he worked tirelessly for biological control of those pests which entered in our country from foreign lands. Particularly open shade delineate, that cactus species, the biological control was attempted during his time. Lantana camera biological control was attempted by scientists during his tenure. And another invasive pest which bothered the country in those days was the locust. And in undivided Pakistan, the Imperial Agricultural Research Institute and Imperial Council of Agricultural Research. I was under the impression that ICR is the name given by us after independence, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. But this ICR was established in those days by Britishers as Imperial Council of Agricultural Research. After independence, it became Indian Council of Agricultural Research. Same is the case for Imperial Agricultural Research Institute, which was established in Pusa, which came to Delhi as the Indian Agricultural Research Institute converted after independence. Dr. Ramchandra Rao was the imperial entomologist. He is the entomologist to the government of India in those days, who was looking after the locust control. This locust organization, this quarantine post, everything was created during his period. Friends, there is a purpose in telling these things to you, because we go ahead, we see for modern developments and forget about our own history. Although it is a part of history, but it teaches us, it gives us a lesson. Our past stalwarts have done many things which we should go through and try to improve upon them. They had limited resources, both in terms of finances as well as instruments and equipments. Nowadays, there is a running race among us how to prepare and how to present the papers immediately after working for 1 or 2 years. We want that our paper should be published in good journal. But in that race, we are forgetting one thing. We are concentrating more on computerized techniques and computer-based research. And our efforts on the field to solve the field problems are taking second backseat. And I am afraid that after some time it will be difficult for us to find a scientist who is working for the fields in the world. There is a need for research in field entomology because it can only solve the problems of the farmers which they are facing on immediate basis. The research which we do as a technical backstopping will help us to understand the problems. I don't mean to say that that should not be done. That should be done, but it should be supportive to help our efforts for good results under the field conditions. I don't find many scientists now, many research papers coming in the reputed journals which are giving you immediate information to solve the problems which are being faced by the farmers under the field conditions. After retiring from the Central Agricultural University, for last 10 years I was actively engaged in farming, and therefore I find that farmers are facing altogether very different type of problems. And when you go through the annual reports of the scientific institutions as well as the state agricultural university, we find very much attention or very much space on their agenda for those problems which are being faced by them. And therefore, there is a great need to have closer interaction with the farmers before we take up any PG studies or any research projects. We should try to understand what are the problems of the farmers, and then we should decide our research criteria. I should not take the credit of saying that I did it, but I will tell you that I was a student of biological control at MSc, and I wanted to do my PhD in biological control with Dr. S. Pradhan, then head of the division of entomology. After getting admitted in IRI, there is a break between selection and actual joining of the institute. During that period, I went to my place and I found citrus plantation was severely affected with citrus syrup. I was not aware as a BSc student at that time because I was staying in Nagpur College and I seldom had an opportunity to go to the fields in the town. I immediately changed my perception and I said that I want to do something on citrus. It was not possible in those days. Probably Dr. Dekar realized in IRI to do the research of his own. In those days, it was difficult. But I collected courage and I went to Dr. Pradhan and I requested him that this central cytosilla is a very serious problem and therefore I want to work on this problem. And I wish that you are the only person to guide, because in those days work on horticultural crops was very much limited in IIR. So he advised me that since he was going to retire next year, it will be better to find some guide, but he will be advisory committee member. And therefore I would work on cytosilla for my PhD. My point is that if you really find something in your mind that you want to do it, please try to do it. Don't get carried away by the external environment. Artificial intelligence, now many people are talking. And in India, it is one thing. When something comes new, everybody starts discussing about it and trying to do it, keeping all old projects aside. Artificial intelligence, if it has to be successful in agriculture in our country, plant protection is the best platform for that, where farmer needs advice at each and every stage after the plants seeds are sown, fertilizer is applied, irrigation is given. All problems, right from sowing till harvesting and post-harvest, are associated with pathogens or insects. And therefore, artificial intelligence offers a good platform for our entomology people and plant pathology people to do something in that area. Another point, the last point which I would like to mention here before I close. Integrated pest management is being talked about everywhere nowadays. But if we do introspection, are we really doing integrated pest management? Or still we are doing integrated disease management separately, integrated insect management separately? These are the things which bothers me. Until and unless these multiple disciplines, entomology, plant pathology, virology, nematology, weed management, all of them work together, the real purpose or real goal or real objective of integrated pest management will not be solved. Therefore, those students who want to do something in integrated pest management, they should ensure that in their advisory committee, there are people from the multiple disciplines which are related to plant protection. If we don't do it, probably we will be ending up with entomology and pathology separately under the name of integrated pest management. And one word of caution. Last week also I made these mentions in somewhere other place. State agricultural universities and state departments of agriculture in the country, as well as the central government, are going to face a serious problem over after 4 or 5 years, and that is because of nematodes. Totally nematode has been forgotten. There is only 1 or 2 divisions existing in the country, and we don't have any extension nematologists. And nematology farmers as well as scientists are also unaware of their problems at this stage. And therefore we are camouflaging the problems of nematodes with entomological problem or plant pathological problems. So there is a need that this nematology should be taken care of. If we forget at this stage, we will not be in a position to solve the problems of plant protection either by entomologists or pathologists, because nematode is the cause, basal cause which is causing more problems rather than plant pathogens or soil pathogens separately. So with these words, I just want to say that younger generation has got a very good future. They should try to identify their goals and they should not forget that there is no alternative to hard work. I hope you will be deliberating your own papers, which you have done, and constructive suggestions which will be offered to you by audience or by the senior faculty should be taken in positive way, not as a criticism, but as a corrective measures. I am extremely thankful to Dr. Ramamurthy for inviting me as a guest of honor for this program and providing me an opportunity to interact with my younger friends. I will avail this opportunity to interact with them from time to time in the next 2-3 days. I am extremely thankful to Honorable Vice Chancellor for providing all the logistic support and logistic facilities to all the delegates and society. As the Chief Patron of Entomological Society of India, I wish this conference all the best and I seek the blessings from all of you for the development of this Entomological Society and particularly programs like Students Come Here. Thank you very much for giving patience audience to my talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We are really blessed to have you with us today. I now have the honor to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Felicitation, sir, to kindly bless us with his kind words by delivering the inaugural address to the gathering.
Namaskar. Good morning to all of you. Respected Dr. Puri, the former Vice Chancellor of Central Agricultural University, and also the President of Technological Society of India, and one of my early mentors at ICR system. Dr. Bhagavan Varali, the Research Dean of the College of Agriculture, Assam Agricultural University. Dr. Sasi, the Secretary of the Entomological Society of India. Dr. Bharat Bhattacharjee, the able head of Department of Entomology, under whom the Entomology Division is working very nicely in this university. All our senior retired professors, some of them are my teachers, like Dr. Dipan Datto, Dr. Saityan Datto. These are the two very fantastic teachers we have made when we were students. All our retired senior colleagues, delegates coming from different parts of the country, particularly Dr. Sukaparti and his wife, my good friend Dr. Y.Z. Prasad, alumni, I have seen her, all other invited participants, students, faculties, participants coming from different parts of the country. I was feeling a little bit nostalgic when Dr. Puri made a mention about Dr. Bhupen Hazarika. The auditorium where we are sitting today, this particular auditorium was inaugurated by none other than Dr. Bhupen Hazarika in 1980, 45 years back. And this was the best auditorium during that time. You just think of 45 years back, that too in a small town called Jorhat. Even during that time, Guwahati also did not have this kind of auditorium. So it is Dr. Bhupen Hazarika who inaugurated this auditorium 45 years back. Friends, many of you must have come for the first time to this university, which was established way back in 1969. But then the root of the university was really penetrated long back, 1948, immediately after independence. There were two colleges, College of Agriculture at Jorhat, which was established way back in 1948, and College of Veterinary Science at Khanapara, Guwahati, which was also established in the same year, 1948. That was the beginning of this particular university. Today, we have 9 different colleges, 3 in agriculture, 2 in veterinary, and one each in horticulture, community science, sericulture, and fisheries. We have 11 different research stations. Because why I am mentioning all those kind of things, because many of you may not know about the strength of Assam Education University. Whenever we meet in this kind of conference, for our people it may be a little bit of repetition for them. But then still I would like to mention, we have 11 different research stations. We have 6 agroecological institutions, where we have journal research stations, 5 commodity research stations, so altogether 11 research stations. We have the KVKs in 23 districts under Assam Education University. 23 KVKs, altogether as on there we have 26 KVKs. Out of which 23 KVKs are under Assam Education University. So it's a huge community. And probably today in India, we are the second largest agriculture university in the country. Because all other agriculture universities are bifurcated. Assam Agriculture University, by shape and size, we are the second largest agriculture university next to Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology. Because they are the largest agriculture university today in the country, which has also not been bifurcated till yet. Friends, particularly students. So I would like to compliment the Entomological Society of India for having organized this kind of workshop for the benefit of the students. Entomology Students Conclave is, the meaning itself indicates this is for the students. And I am told we have students from different universities of the country. Those of you who have already submitted your master's thesis or PhD thesis, you are the participants and you are the real attraction of this particular conclave. And I am very happy to let you know, those of you who have not visited some of the important departments, because I was so very sorry, yesterday was holiday. Today also, it was not a holiday, but all of a sudden, government of Assam, because of Holi, they have declared the local holidays. And tomorrow is again Sunday, but on 17th, it is a working day, Monday. So before you leave, you try to visit the departments, particularly students. Entomology department you visit, you try to visit pathology department, you try to visit other departments, including the agricultural biotechnology. And probably many of you know the government of India, they are trying to install the sophisticated radar to capture the meteorological parameters. So one of the sophisticated radar are being installed in our ICR field, Instructional Camp Research Farm. So why have I made this mention of this particular radar? When I joined here as a Vice Chancellor in 2020, 22nd of October, I am on deputation here from ICR. So in my first lecture that day, I gave a clarion call to all the entomologists. Because the climatic conditions of this part of the country is totally different from other part of the country. Those of you who have come for the first time, the other part of the country where temperature has already touched more than 38, 39, maybe 40, because this is March. And here, without jacket and without sweater, you cannot continue your life. Of course, this has happened all of a sudden. All of a sudden, rain came 2 days back. It was a heavy shower yesterday night, day before yesterday also. So, moment there is a heavy rain, anyway the relative humidity of this particular country never falls below 65, even in the very, very dry period. But average relative humidity is somewhere around 70 to 75. And our temperature never exceeds 39. Sometimes on and off, it may touch 40, but the average maximum temperature is in between 36 to 37. So therefore, we need a different kind of technology for this part of the country, because problem remains. There are different different dimensions of the entomological problems. That's why 22nd of October when I joined here, I asked my scientists, why don't you try utilizing the AI, which Dr. Puri had made a mention about that, develop some kind of prediction models. I still remember, I have seen two of our very senior and capable scientists, Dr. Hazarika and Dr. Pujari. They developed the biological control measures for controlling the HISPA. HISPA was a menace in our state. I am talking about 80s when we were students here during 87 to 90, 84 to 90. I was a student here in this university. So HISPA was a menace, and these two scientists, Dr. Hazarika and Dr. Pujari, they developed the biological control measures, and now HISPA is not a problem in this part of the country, because we have taken care of the problem of the HISPA through biological means. During that time, there was no AI, nothing. You cannot really predict. But today, particularly students, you have all the information available, ready-made information. And you know for sure at what temperature and what relative humidity a particular insect really grows well, or which temperature and humidity is favorable for a particular insect. And what is the ecology requirement? You know all those kind of things. So based on maybe 100 years of data, 50 years data to everywhere is available. So can you not make some prediction model for some very important insects which really cause in the farmers? Dr. Puri was very, very right that very few of us we really look into the real problem of the farmers. Why the Entomological Society of India has convened this kind of students' conflict? Just to give a sensational kind of thing, some sense in your mind that you are our young people, you will have to be the leader in the field in the days to come. Our age has already come, because we are all 60 plus, most of us. Of course, Badal and Shasil, they are still at the early 50s. But then three of us, Dr. Bhagwan Murali is my classmate. Puri sir is already 80 years old young man. I still consider him a young man, he is 80 years. But still they think about the entomological problem of the country. And as I made a mention about, this part of the country, particularly Eastern India, different kind of restrictions. Particularly for the hills. Dr. Puri was the Vice Chancellor of the Central University at Imphal. He knows the entire gamut of various issues, problems, whether it is entomological problem or pathological problem or hematological problem. It is you, the students, who are our futures. Don't simply depend upon the SARA availability. Available in the SARA or whatever is available in the electronic mode, you are very, very happy with that. But there are certain theses in each and every library of the country, which are also now digitalized. I still remember in our time, we went to the library with abstract card. Our teachers, they suggested us, until and unless you give me a review of less than 100 is not accepted. Minimum 100 references. In your case, in my opinion, it should be minimum references. In your case, in my opinion, it should be minimum 500.
Cotton is very important crop because of the varieties which are grown here. They have been historically acclaimed as the best varieties. but over a period of time, cotton cultivation has dwindled. But now let us hear from the horse's mouth, you can say, Dr. Y.G. Prasad, how to develop cotton in the Northeast, in addition to his own thoughts about cotton product. Your turn, Dr. Y.G. Prasad.
Respected Chair, esteemed seniors, guests, invited participants, students, everyone present here in this hall, and those who have joined online.
Thought-provoking presentation. I think the suggestions which are made by Dr. Prasad for the younger generation to follow that gene technology suitable for our particular country. Thank you very much.
Request Dr. S.N. Puri sir, Chair, and Dr. Suresh sir to felicitate our co-chair and our plenary speaker, Dr. Y.G. Prasad sir. Sir has to catch a flight, so he is taking leave from the conclave. Thank you for sparing your valuable time, sir.
I don't know, only chemical management dominates today, and we are using broad spectrum and putting sleep several of our pollinators. And again, this is one study from California research site. They found having a flowering plants near to the crop ecosystem increases the soybean yield by 6.52. Is it not mind-boggling? If you see the breeders who follow their traditional laborious procedures to get 6.5 increase is really awesome. But just have a mixed flowering plants next to your field and have it. And here the soybean is not cross-pollinated crop. It is self-pollinated crop, and the increase in yield happened because of the increase in the seed size. So many molecules, and our shelves are becoming empty. Okay, there are several areas to strengthen our IPM programs. There are several. Every area is unique in its own way. But I will be focusing on insect-plant interactions, particularly because insects majorly depend on olfaction. We would have studied in our BSAG, there are what and all the reasons for insect success on this earth. So many exoskeleton, wings, so many things. But but we never mention about olfaction. But personally I feel olfaction is the major factor for insect success. Okay? They can track their mates, they can track their host plants across the mixture of background noises. And why? We have 5 senses, right? We can equate the insect antenna almost to the nose. And if you see the olfaction, particularly in a human brain, it is perceived by olfactory bulb. But there are studies when one of your sense is affected, the other sense take over. I feel in insects particularly, when insect vision is very poor, I think all of you are entomologists, I think you will agree. Definitely that's why it managed to have very strong olfaction to the tune of this level. We hardly smell it when we are crossing the bakery, but not to this tune, okay? So, what is happening in the crop ecosystem? Multiple odor networks are playing, and definitely we are still thinking of 2G, 3G, 5G. There are insects are already in multiple Gs. They are handling in crop ecosystem. Plants are communicating with the pollinators, and again natural enemies, and also between herbivores. So many networks are happening in the crop ecosystem. So, but if you see the technologies based on semiochemicals, particularly in India, not much rosy picture exists. There's several of sex pheromones which are already identified in advanced countries. We are importing and are producing, but not for our own insects, for our own crops. So just I took this publication trend across the globe. You can see when I took ITM publication trend, almost in